Hey John, how you doing?
Hey,
All right, what should we do for the Kubo intro? I don't know. Should we do something about that?
I don't know. I really like the movie, but it just seemed to have a bunch of like paper art, origami influenced stuff. So I don't really know, honestly.
All right, so we should just get right into the review then, right?
Yeah, let's just get to it. That sounds good.
Okay. The Sharpie makes you look fat.
Hey everyone, I'm John.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're here to review Laika Studios' 2016 new movie, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Absolutely.
So this movie follows a young boy named Kubo and his mother who wash up on the shore of some beach when he's a young child. And then they continue to live on this sort of beach area by this small town for their whole lives. And Kubo doesn't really know anything about his life or his past. He just lived with his mother this whole time. And his mother has kind of told him some bits and pieces of his past, but she has memory loss, so he doesn't really know.
Right.
But one thing she tells him is never go out after dark.
Right.
And one time, of course, he does go out after dark, and of course, that's where the adventure begins.
That's where the plot thickens and the story unfolds. Now, John, you said you never really heard about this movie or saw any trailers or anything like that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I have been waiting for this movie for a while because I'm a huge fan of Laika Studios with, they've made Coraline and Paranorman, and they made the Box Trolls, which I completely forgot about them until we were talking about it a little while ago. But I have been excited for this movie for a very long time, and I'm happy to say that I really enjoyed Kubo and the Two Strings.
I had a blast with this movie.
Absolutely.
First of all, the one thing I was hoping for going in that I think I really got, the visuals, in every sense, were just stunning.
Absolutely. There was a big theme on paper in this movie,
Yes.
and origami, and a lot of that is reflected well on screen. And there are just so many times in the movie where it's just beautiful visuals just because of the paper and the origami. It's really a sight to be held.
Yeah, really some unique stylistic choices there.
Yeah, which, of course, Laika Studios is famous for having claymation, and I think they really stepped it up with this new idea of paper and origami, and I thought it was really cool.
I also thought the character design was incredible.
Absolutely.
A lot of the characters seemed very cool and interesting, but also kind of unique and maybe even, I guess, quirky, for lack of a better word, in their own way.
Absolutely, and that's only enhanced, I think, by some of the cast, especially Kubo, Art Parkinson, Matthew McConaughey, Charlize Theron, Rooney Mara, Ralph Fiennes. The whole cast really just gave it their all, and they were actually really funny most of the time, especially Matthew McConaughey. Props to you, guy.
And while we're just talking about visuals, I want to say, this is not something I'd usually want to compliment for an animated movie, but the cinematography was just incredible, I think, for this movie.
Absolutely.
The scope was breathtaking.
There's a big, what's the word? There's a big focus on Japanese sort of visuals and imagery, and it's just all enhanced, really, with the movie.
I also thought all the characters in this movie, like you touched on before, were really well acted and well done. They all had great chemistry and great dialogue.
Surprising depth to most of them, actually.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons all these characters kind of really fit in well was because, I'm not going to spoil who they are and what their background is, but they all are, at the beginning of the movie at least, were uncertain of their past.
Right.
Because there's one main group of three that we follow throughout this movie.
That aren't sure of that.
And they all don't really know where they've been before for whatever reason, and that they can all connect through that, and we can all relate to them through that.
Through the movie they begin to discover pieces of truth and unfold their history, and they learn and experience those things together, which actually really helped with the characters, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was really just fun and engaging to watch. I thought the writing overall was just super fun. It was always well-paced, never really boring, and just a lot of well-timed comedy, like you mentioned.
Again, just props to the writing and all that. I thought it was great.
Now, one thing that I have to say about the story, this is basically structured like a fable, I think.
Right.
And because very, very fantastical, over the top in a lot of ways, which was good, but because of that, not all of the elements are completely as developed or gone into as I might have liked.
Right. There's specifically a point where they have to get this MacGuffin, where it's this thing that's vital to the story. And they say it's important, and they give their reasons for it being important, but to me, it didn't really feel important. Does that make sense?
Agreed.
Right.
The one whole thing they're on a quest for felt like an excuse for there to be a quest, pretty much.
Right.
Which I guess is more forgivable because it's very obviously meant to be like a fable-esque type of story, but I maybe would have liked for it to seem more natural and embedded and explained in the story.
Right.
Also...
on the subject of things that are in the writing, I found most of it to be pretty heavy-handed in its themes and its motifs and its storytelling, which is fine, this really isn't a con or anything, but it's just we get it, power of love, power of family, power of friendship, and, they're trying to reflect these Japanese values, I believe, And like I said, it's a little heavy-handed, but I still get the overall idea and messages. Still cool though. Still like it.
There are a lot of points throughout, and especially toward the ending, I think, that feel like sort of tacked on moments to stress and sort of shove in your face the thematic elements and morals of the story, kind of.
Yeah.
Which I thought didn't detract from it too much, because that's a fairly standard thing for a kids movie.
Right. You know, power family, power friendship. Why wouldn't you teach those things?
So, Ethan, all things considered, what are you giving Kubo out of 5 stars?
Like I said, John, I've been anticipating this movie for a very long time. I'm a huge fan of Laika Studios' works. Love Coraline, love Paranorman. I was fine with the box trolls. So it's good to say that I'm really happy with this movie. Like I said, I love the cast, I love the writing, beautiful cinematography and visuals all around. I'm very happy with the product that I got today. I'm going to go ahead and give Kubo and the 2 strings a 4.5 out of 5.
I really, really loved Kubo and the 2 strings, Ethan. I think I'm right with you. The visuals, in every sense, were just out of this world. I really liked the characters and all the writing, except for some parts could have been more developed and some parts seemed a little heavy-handed. But otherwise, I think this movie was a blast and it'll be good for the whole family. I recommend this movie for pretty much everyone, so I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. Alright guys, let us know if you've seen Kubo or you want to see it and what your thoughts on the movie are and on our review. Also, you can buy merchandise at cafepress.com/Stubmasters. Make sure to follow us on Twitter @Stubmasters. Alright, so for Stubmasters Reviews, I'm John.
I'm Ethan.
Have a great day.